Talked a little bit about being on that Def Jam tour. Can you give us some of your best memories around that time?
Well, Stetsasonic, we were the opening act, so people was walking in when we didn't really get to shine until we did the Run's House tour. But the Def Jam tour, Stetsasonic was the opening act. People was walking in. The seats weren't even filled yet. You know what I'm saying? So you saw like maybe 14 people on the top, and you probably saw like maybe 13 people on the bottom. The house wasn't filled yet. You know what I'm saying? The house got filled probably by the third act. You know what I'm saying? We were the opening act.
So not so many good memories. So talk about the Run's House tour.
That's a good memory though. That but I think LL was the hell.
Paying dues, man. It's paying dues.
We were happy about that because we got the shine on the Run's House tour.
Okay.
We got the shine on that. So that was us, EPMD, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Big Daddy Kane, Public Enemy, and Run DMC.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Run's House tour.
Crazy.
I would give my left arm for that ticket.
Love that. I still have all my laminates.
Whoa.
To those two. I still got my Run's House laminate. Still got my Bring the Noise tour. I still got all of those, man. Because those were great. That Run's House tour was magnificent for us. Like they gave us props on it. They gave us risers on the Def Jam tour. It was like, here, just go out and the sound was low. But on that Run's House tour, they gave us props. And I remember every night, the first spot we hit was Tallahassee, Florida. I was telling Jazzy Jeff that 2 months ago when we did Atlantic City. I said, do you remember the first night of that Run's House tour? He said, yeah, it was such and such Texas. I said, no, it wasn't. It was Tallahassee, Florida. That was the first show on the Run's House tour. He was like, he said, oh, yeah, you're right, because I have a great memory of our dates. It was Tallahassee, Florida. I never forget it. I never forget Jam Master Jay said to us. He said, what y'all doing, people going to catch on. Because he was a drummer, too.
Mm.
He said, what people see y'all doing, they're going to catch on. Well, I didn't say he was lying. He was right because came the Roots, came the Fugees, came the Black Eyed Peas. Mm. And he was right. They all kind of saw what we were building and they build on it. The Fugees kind of build on what we built on.
Right.
Drummer, DJ, MCs. They kind of build on that. And we weren't mad at them. We loved what Clef and them was doing. I got mad at Lauryn Hill one day. She was on MTV. She said, we're like a hip hop band. I'm like, wait a minute. Delight pinned that name. Nobody was calling himself a hip hop band in 85.
Right.
No.
Who wore a hip hop band in 85? We the only one that comes up.
Yep.
Because Delight pinned that. Delight made that name up. We made that name up. Because somebody said, what do you guys call yourself? Delight said, we're like a hip-hop band. Mm-hmm. We put that on the Info Gear album. If you put on the Info Gear album and go to the song, This Is It, Y'all, there's an interview at the beginning of that song. And Delight go, we're like a hip-hop band. That was that interview when someone asked us about how do you guys describe yourself. That was in 1986. So I'm looking at Lauryn Hill like, what? Y'all know, we're a hip-hop band. Y'all could just call yourself a hip-hop act.
right.
We're a hip hop band, but we love them though. We never had no quarrels with nobody. But I was just kind of blown as she said that, like, say we're kind of like this like hip hop band like Stetsasonic. Say that, But right. We saw everybody kind of just took and build on what we were doing. So we appreciate it.
Before I ask you this other question, I just wanted to, you mentioned Delight was heavy into jazz. Mm-hmm. Is that like the whole concept, like talking all that jazz and everything, was that all his idea?
Exactly.
Because nobody, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember offhand, there wasn't really too much jazz, if I'm not mistaken, being incorporated at the time.
No, there was only one person. It was us, and it was Gangstar. It was Premier.
Right, but
yeah, because they did that when Talking Like Jazz was out. They had
was it around the same time? It was around the same time.
Yeah.
Where's that manifest?
Yeah, What's Our Manner? That's a jazz
Right,
record.
right. I remember the song. I wasn't sure if it was like around the same.
Yeah, it was at the same time. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Our album was out. They didn't have an album out yet. They just had that single out.
The sing. Okay, okay.
Yeah, because we hooked up with them at the music seminar.
Okay.
Back then, when Tommy Boy had their music seminar back then, and we loved that record because it was a jazz record. That boom, boom, boom. That's jazz.
Yeah.
And we love what Primo did to it. And Primo's into jazz.
Yeah, right.
That's why Christina Aguilera loved his work, because he was into that whole thing, that that jazz thing that he was into. That's why Spike Lee was like, I need to work with, because of that whole jazzmatazz stuff. So we were the only the light really was on that, but the song Talking All That Jazz came from Daddy-O. Daddy-O wrote that whole song.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He wrote that whole song because I heard on the radio James M. Toomey, Gladys Knight, and a couple of other R&B artists. They were talking back. They were putting down rappers. This was 1987. They're not creative. They're stealing our music. They're not original. And then they were really putting down rappers. I'm like, I love Gladys Knight. Is she dissing us? So I called Daddy-O, and back then that's when we used to smoke the heavies.
Right.
Yo, D, Gladys Knight and M. Toomey, because M. Toomey had Juicy Fruit, who later on became our best friend. He's also a part of our TV1 Unsung that's out now. Well, by the time people see this, it'll be out.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, D, they on the radio dissing rappers. And so I recorded it and played it for D. And that night, Daddy-O wrote that whole thing. So when you say the words, the Talking All That Jazz, the story is because of that radio interview. Well, here's how it started. Heard you on the radio. Talk about rap, saying all that crap about how we sample. Give an example. Think we let you get away with that. You criticize our method, how we make records. You said it wasn't art, so now we're going to rip you apart.
Nice.
You came about. Because we heard them on the radio. And I was like, yo, I'm going to marry Gladys Knight. Oh, they're not creative and they stealing from us. And back then, R&B artists was hating on us.
They didn't understand it.
Even Michael Jordan was hating.
Well, exactly. So it was like, yo. But out of that conversation came a fantastic record. James M. Toomey loved the record so much that he was like, I didn't know y'all was talking about me. He was like, yeah. Right. And he's on our Unsung too. He talks about that on Unsung as well. So nice. Yeah.
Quick question: are you good on time?
Yeah.
Okay, because you have too much stuff, man. You there's too many things to talk to you about.
What you need from me, I got y'all. Just tell me, I'll drop it. I'll roll it out.
Okay. Well, since we've talked.
But that's a monumental moment on the Def Jam, man. I like that moment.
right. No, but let's keep going in that lane. We mentioned Ralph McDaniels, Video Music Box, MTV, and Fat Five Freddy, man. How does your flavor videos? How does that even come into existence? What was the thought process behind that? And by the way, I used to get kind of annoyed because sometimes I couldn't get the damn channel in that well. And I used to look forward to seeing you because it was hilarious. I love the show. And I guess kind of leading into that too, because I know you're kind of into the comedy and all of that, and you used to incorporate a lot of comedy stuff in flavor videos. Right.
How
does that come about?
Well, that flavor videos came about, of course, by that time, and I'm sure we'll come back to it, or if we come back to it later. We had already completed our third album, which was Blood, Sweat, the Stetsasonic album, Blood, Sweat, No Tears. At that time, there was only three of us that was really doing a lot of work in the music industry. Prince Paul, Daddy-O, and myself. We started taking on different projects and working with people. Of course, we all know Prince Paul was the master control behind De La Soul's 3 Feet High and Rising album. But because he produced that album and it was a monumental album, people started calling him, yo, I need you to produce a track for me. So he produced Big Daddy Kane. He produced Third Base Gas Face. He was getting calls. So he was being bombarded. So we weren't able to really work on the third album the way we wanted to. Daddy-O, the same thing. People was like, yo, love his voice. So they started calling Daddy-O to do TV commercials. So Daddy-O was doing TV commercial. I'm not sure if y'all familiar with Dark and Lovely, the rapping in that commercial. That's Daddy-O rapping. I'm not sure if y'all familiar with the Polly-O string cheese commercial, but Polly-O string cheese, the best part of the pizza. That's Daddy-O.
That I didn't know.
Yeah, that's Daddy-O. If you Google Polly-O string cheese commercial, you're gonna hit Daddy-O. And if you like Polly-O string cheese pizza, Polly-O string cheese, that's the best part of the pizza. That's Daddy-O. So they were hiring him to do commercials.
So you guys were quick because we had Wise on, and he was on the commercial too, if I'm not mistaken. Wise, wasn't it like a Campbell soup or something?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Sounds just rap out right.
Yeah. I think Wise said he was like in the Campbell soup because I remember looking it up. It was like a beat. I don't know if he was doing the beatbox. It was something. Look it up. There's a Campbell soup commercial. It was like a cartoon.
Probably, maybe. I mean, that's probably something that I probably missed from Wise because sometimes Wise would do things and they wouldn't credit him for it. So I'm not sure, but I'm sure he probably did because Wise they would tap it in for certain things, but they would really tap it in for like I'll never forget. That's why some people have a great relations with Leon Cohen and some people don't. But anyway, but Leon Cohen always wanted to work with someone who was making the money. Prince Paul was making the money. De La Soul was big. Oh, Prince Paul, I'm gonna give you your own record label. What do you want? You can come over to Def Jam, and so Paul got his own label. Daddy-O, you know you're the biggest thing. So Daddy-O was producing Mary J. Blige. The Real Love record, that's his record. The remix, Look Up in the Sky, It's a Bird. That's Daddy-O's. He produced that. You know, even when Biggie go, peace to Daddy-O, we're big up to Brooklyn. Daddy-O produced that record. Diddy didn't do that. Daddy-O did that. Did I say that right? Yeah, Diddy didn't do that.
Yeah.
You know, Daddy-O also did Love No Limit with Jodeci and Mary J. He did that. So, and then Daddy-O was doing B-52s and he was we were producing records. I got called to do Shabba Ranks and KRS-One. You know what I'm saying? I got called to do Tony Terry. We was producing records. So we were all over the place. And then somebody, while I was producing
that Shabba KRS joint?
Yeah, I did that. I produced that. It's called The Jam. Yeah, I did that. Yeah. So we were all over the place. Me and Daddy-O, we did the Red Hot Chili Peppers record together.
Right.
So we were in demand. We were being called for because the records we were doing, people just wanted to be a part of how we were producing records. So Flavor Videos came about from that because after the third album, Tommy Boy wanted a fourth album from us. But they wanted Prince Paul to produce the entire album. And we was like, no, we're all producers. If we're going to do this album, we're going to do it together. And Tom didn't want that. So we was like, whatever. If you're not going to do that, then we're not giving you. Because we owed Tom a fourth album. We just never gave it to him. We just waited the contract out. So while we waited the contract out, that's where Flavor Videos came in. Because somebody called me and said, listen, one of our host is out. We will know if you want to cover the host. So I hosted the show. And he said, Joe, I would like to do your own show. What you did was great. I was like, well, how does it work? So he told me, he said, well, look, and you know, because if you watch my show, you know. He said, well, this station is really all about the psychic readers.
Right.
And if you remember, the psychic readers was on the side.
Yeah.
The box. And I was in the middle. So this is me in the middle. I'm in the middle. And there's the psychic readers on the side. Telling people, call, you know.
Yeah.
Remember the show? That's how the show.
Yeah.
And he said, if you could generate a big audience through the music, that'll be great because you got people calling the psychic readers. Like, who the hell is calling the psychic readers? I said, well, look, I'll do it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What are we looking at? So that's why I credit Dame Dash. Because Dame Dash came down one day. He was working with someone, I think, from Harlem about a clothing or something. I can't remember. And Dame Dash asked me, this was before the whole Rockefeller thing was even going to happen. He said, how much they paying you to bust those phones? And I'm like, they're not paying me anything for the phones. He's just paying me for the host. He said, nah, man, you're making those phones rings. They need to give you some money on that. That's why every time people spaz on Dame, like, nah, he was giving Jews in 92. He was giving Jews in 92. And I'm going to tell you, he was right. Because I told the guy who owned the station, if you don't cut me in on a psychic reader call, I'm not gonna do it. He cut me in on it.
Man.
He cut me in on it.
So were you responsible for? Because you know you would do different things during your show. Like, was that all you coming up with the concept for the content and everything?
Yep. Me and I had an engineer. His name was Ray. I used to go always, yo, Ray, kick that. I used to always say,
yeah.
Back. But it was mainly me.
Yeah, gives me goosebumps, man.
Yeah, I used to book all the acts. All my shows that I did on Flavor Videos, I have them all documented on video.
What?
I brought R. Kelly on the show for the first time in '92. That I got that documented on video. I brought Mary J. Blige on. No one knew who the hell she was. She had You Remind Me on. It wasn't big yet. I said, come on the show. Puff said, yo, can I bring on the show? I said, yeah, bring on the show. Like, that's documented. I got that. Matter of fact, if people go to my Instagram, I post snippets of it on my Instagram. I brought Eminem on the show. I brought Aaliyah on the show. I brought Nori when he came home from jail on the show because he said, yo, you don't understand, B. Cats up in C70, they used to fight for the TV to watch you. I'm like, so I brought all those cats on the show because I knew my show was really, it wasn't about, my show was different from Ralph because Ralph taught me. I worked with Ralph on Video Music Box. Ralph taught me. I said, but Ralph, I can't do what you do. Ralph was hip hop CNN.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because he went in the trenches with his camera with Al Sharpton and he went with the mayors. He was in the trenches. I didn't do that. I stayed in the studio with a camera, taking phone calls, playing videos, doing skits. My show, the Flavor Video, was really about me showing off my comedy skills.
Yeah.
And that's why I did the Biggie Give Me the Loot skit with the split screen, the Jodeci script before Casey and JoJo with the split screen, the dancing routines where I'm dancing against myself with the split screen. People was like, how you do that? Split screen. This was before TikTok and before the green.
You didn't get that right, Sincere.
Huh?
No, I was asking Sincere, like that definitely didn't come across your. Yeah.
You can always go to my Instagram and watch it.
Yeah, for sure. That's the great thing, going back and discovering stuff.
Exactly. So my show was really about me showing my comedy skills because I used to do comedy club with, it was me, Tracy Morgan, Donnell Rollins, and Crazy Sam's. Because Crazy Sam used to work for Video Music Box, but we wanted to start a comedy club in '91.
Okay.
And we did. And then I was like, yo, I can't do a 15-minute set. I can't stand there and go, yeah. So I couldn't do that. So I said, yo, damn this. But I was able to book comedians. So I booked Tracy Morgan, to come do some comedy shows. And, and I want to say this.
That's early then.
I still got the flyers. I post them all, so people can, So, but I want to say this on your show. So in case, I know Tracy watched this. Yo, Tracy, don't be lying to people. You know I paid you. I always pay the client. Because one time he did a joke on stage like, yo, Bubby, you don't pay. Nah, I pay my client. So, but that's how, I use Flavor Videos more of doing my comedy bit through TV and use the music videos to support the hip hop artists. I supported Duck Down. The first group ever come on my show when they didn't even have an album out was Smith and Wesson and the Helter Skelter and all of them.
Yeah.
All of that is documented. I got all that on video.
You plan on doing anything with that one day?
My manager keep telling me, my agent, she keep telling me, you need to put together, back then she said a DVD. She said, you need to put together something so people know that. She's like she said to me recently, I think before Christmas, she said, yo, Nori got this big platform. Did he ever reach out to you to come on his show? I said, no. She said, he should, because didn't you bring him on your show twice when he came home from jail? I said, yeah.
Oh, right.
I said, if he wants to holler, he can holler.
Right.
She said, but Math Hoffa called you. I said, because those cats respect, and I'm not saying Nori don't respect me. I'm just saying those guys have respect because they're like you, fam. They were fans of Flavor Videos. Like they would sit in the house, like they would. I did two. My show was crazy, fam. Let me tell you real quick about my show. My show will come on 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. I will take a break. This is live now. I will take a break from 8 p.m. to midnight. I will take a break. Midnight, I will come back on from midnight to 6 a.m. and play videos live. I will play X-rated videos.
What was the?
It was channel 44, channel 54, and channel 35.
Yeah. So real quick, sincere, just so you understand why I said I dope show, right? And sometimes you couldn't get the signal in good. You
Right.
know what I mean? On the TV. Because the channel, it's the other channels, you know what I
Right.
mean? And man, I used to so the reason why I asked you too, do you plan on doing anything with that is because I would like to see for once maybe some of these videos that I used to see kind of snowy looking,
Right.
kind of clear.
No, I'm definitely doing something. But that's why I posted up snippets of some of them. I mean, I know there's a lot on my Instagram, but if you go through it, you'll see it. I actually uploaded a lot. I uploaded episode where actually on the phone with a caller and I'm doing a contest with them, and you see the psychic readers on the side. So yeah, I posted that. So yeah, I am planning to do something with it, but I want to grab hold of everybody who was on the show and interview them on what the show.
Oh, nice. Before I pass it to Sincere, I'm glad you described what that whole thing was, because I already thought that the psychic thing going on was just because it's like some real low budget station and like that's how you go.
It was
but I didn't know that there was like some, the actual connection and reason.
Right.
I thought it was just literally like, this is how the channel is. It's just so crazy. But hey, we get to enjoy it.
Right. I remember I used to argue with the owner there. He said, why did you take the psychics down? I said, because the videos are playing. He said, you can't keep the psychics up with the video. I said, then they won't be able to see the video. I said, have them up when I'm up. I can promote them with me, but when the video is playing, they want to see them. You see half a video.
But it's so dope because they're so hip hop, man. It's so
right, exactly. But back then we had. See, that's why technology is so easy today for everybody with the TikToks. But back then, we had to really just build it ground up. And don't get me wrong, even though we wasn't on in Indiana, but I hit other markets. We was on in Atlanta, Georgia, live. Mm-hmm. We was on in Atlanta. We was on in Miami. Because remember, everybody in Polk and Beans in Liberty City was like, "Yo, give us, come on!" I introduced Trick Daddy's videos when nobody wasn't playing their videos.
Right.
I tell this story all the time. I said, nobody wasn't playing these Miami or these Southern people videos, even MTV. I even challenged MTV because these records weren't big yet. Mm. And I remember, I tell the story all the time. I will not change the narrative of the story. I said it was this group. They were a Southern act. And this song was so funny because I'm a comedian. I'm like, yo, I got to play this video because the song is funny. I said, maybe people won't like it. And they'll say, yo, stop playing that dumbass video. But for some strange reason, people started to love the video and the song. And you know what song that was? That was B Rockin' the Biz. That's just my baby daddy. That's just my baby. And I loved it because it sounded so funny.
Right.
It became a big record for them.
It did.
Wow. MTV wasn't playing it because they thought it was stupid. I thought it was stupid too, but I thought it was funny. So I played it. Like, yo, this is funny. I gotta play this to see what everybody else thought of it. People was requesting for it. Yo, play that video again. Then people from Miami was calling. Yo, B, this is such and such from Polk and Beans, Liberty City. Yo, play that Trick Daddy.
That's crazy.
So we was on in other markets beside New York. I remember T-Bars and them called and said, yeah, we get ready to come out with a record. We hope you play our video. They were from Atlanta. This was before we even knew they were TLC. All that is documented. I got all that documented on videotape.
Nice.
All of it.
I want to kind of go back in time just a little smidgen. I know we're in the 90s, but just a little bit. Can you talk a little bit about your relationship with Scott LaRock and that whole Stop the Violence movement?
Wow. Scott LaRock, my relationship with Scott LaRock was so short. Because the only time I got to spend with Scott LaRock, talk to him a little bit, was at the Latin Quarters. I didn't really get to hang out with him much outside of that. Most of the time that I did see Scott or we talk was at the Latin Quarters. Because he asked me, he said, yo, so you DJ here? I said, yeah. He didn't know Raul was the main DJ. He didn't know I was taking over Raul's spot. But he was like, oh, I thought Red was DJ. I said, no, Red comes on when he's finished at Kiss FM. He said, oh, so my relationship with Scott LaRock was short, but it was good because we at least got to conversate a lot. And he also gave me promos of certain of their records when they would be impressed.
Nice.
Very nice guy, man. Very smart too. He was very business savvy. No disrespect to Puff, because Puff was business savvy too, but I got to see Scott way before I got to see Diddy.
How did that death affect you, and how did Stetsasonic get so much real estate in self-destruction video?
It scared us because we were all friends with Scott, and it scared us. We were all friends with KRS-One. It scared us because we was like, what happened? And why did this happen? What's the story behind why it happened? We was kind of scared because we was like, yo, what the, how does something like this lead to somebody getting murdered? Like what, yo, somebody go find MC Shan. That's what we was thinking because we just thought, the wreck at the bridge and this was good. No, it had nothing to do with that. So it scared us. And the reason why we had a stake in it because of the fact that D-Nice and KRS-One, we were the groups, we were the conscience act. So they wanted conscious people to help tell this narrative. That's why Kumo is in it. That's why Light is in it. That's why Heavy's on it. That's why Melly's on it. That's why Chris starts it off. That's why Ice is on it. We were the conscious cats because we was going to say something on this record. Kumo had the dopest line on that record. He said, I never ever ran from the Ku Klux Klan, so I shouldn't have to run from a black man. How powerful is that?
Yeah, that was nuts.
Come on. So they knew that the people that we're going to recruit is going to say something on this record and is going to be important. And he recruited the right people, even though LL wrote Light's rhymes, but LL still was recruited enough to make sure that what she say is going to be valid. So we were called because Chris and the people who was a part of that knew that because you got to also remember, I skipped something. You got to remember, we was also a part of the Africa movement. We did a record called Free South Africa, help fight for apartheid. So they
can you do us a favor? Can you give a shout out to Do Me Right? I don't know if he's from Zimbabwe, legit. We had him on the show and he gave you guys such huge praise.
Right.
Because of that song that you guys did, and he was out and in Africa at the time, and hearing you guys mention it was a huge inspiration to him. And I reshared your post, I think it was today, for the Unsung. And like he commented on it again, like just saying, man.
Yeah, we talk about it on Unsung. Yeah, we actually there's a segment on that Unsung where we talk about it. So what's Do Me Right? This is?
Do Me Right. Yeah.
Zimbabwe Legit. They were on Hollywood Basic back in the 90s. I don't know if you remember that label with Organized Confusion. But they're from Africa.
Okay. No. I'm from Well, I'm not familiar. Well, I shall Do Me Right. I'll shout you Do Me Right. And everybody keep coming up to us, Do Me Right, talking about y'all learned about Africa just because I didn't know Zimbabwe or Tanzania, Zambia, Mozambique. They was like, where are these places? We were saying these places because the Reverend Jesse Jackson told us that there's something going on, and you guys are doing the rap thing. You got to talk about this in your and that's how that came about. It was a video that was given to him by somebody from Africa that said, can you get these young cats to talk about there's something going on? And we were the group that was recruited for that.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, because people knew that we were that group. We could talk about any topic. Sorry, no disrespect to the rappers today. Y'all can't talk about any topic because you don't know what to talk about. You have nothing to talk about. We talked about, give us a topic, we'll talk about it. We talked about Girl Sally. We talked about Faye. We talked about us being Just Say Set. We talked about Africa. We talked about self-destruction. We talked about talking all that jazz. Give us a topic. We'll write something. We're poets. We know how to write. We know how to come up with topics. There's only a few rappers today that know how to poetically come up with topics. Everybody just say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Talk about the same thing you talk about on the last record, just to a different beat.
Right.
We're poets. Give us a topic. We'll talk about it. Give us a topic. We'll talk about it. Yo, there's something going on in the political aspect. All right, here's a political record. We're gonna talk about everybody. We're gonna talk about Biden. We're gonna talk about Trump. We're gonna talk about everything. We're gonna poetically, lyrically talk about it.
Right.
You don't have that today. If somebody want to be mad at me on the button, be mad. I don't care. Besides Kendrick and those cats, because those guys are kind of following the pipeline the pipeline we kind of laid. It's still being built. But your average Joe Schmo rappers,
right.
They don't know what to talk about. They have nothing to talk about. There's a lot going on in your community right now, and you're not even making songs about it.
It's a different atmosphere, man. I don't know what it is, but
we did. When Yusuf Hawkins got killed, we made records.
Right.
Talk loud about it. We was like, this record got to get to other Black communities and other cities, knowing that this happened to Yusuf Hawkins.
Right.
You had Black Lives Matter, and none of them asked us to make a record to help support, because to them, it wasn't important to them.
Right.
No disrespect to the Black Lives Matter. I know y'all got beat up on. You're gonna still get beat up. But what I'm saying, we were around, but y'all wanted to mess with the young cats. Oh, let's get Drake and 50 to mention. Or let's get to see. Y'all was going after people who, no disrespect, who weren't that concerned about it as the way we were concerned about Africa. We wasn't from Africa. We could have just said, that's Africa's problem. We didn't say that.
Right.
We learned about the problem and wrote about it. And look what you just told me about Do Me Right.
Yeah. I'll send you his link just so you get, know who he is. But
spoke to somebody through that record.
Oh yeah.
About
and
in their territory. And we're from New York.
And right now he's a cultural ambassador, man, and goes around speaking and everything on behalf of hip hop and all of that stuff. So,
and we was in Africa. We wound up getting to go to Africa. We went to Senegal. We did the concert out there with Spike Lee, Patti LaBelle. We did a big concert out there in Africa.
Nice.
So yeah, so big shout out to Do Me Right. Shout you out, fam.
Yeah.
We still saying free South Africa. We still saying it.
Talked a little bit about flavor videos. How'd you find yourself on Freestyle Fridays on BET?
Damn. Yo, you work for TMZ, man? I got hooked up on Freestyle Friday because Mr. C, shout out to DJ Mr. C, Big Daddy Kane's DJ. Mr. C was actually doing Freestyle Friday for a minute, and Stephen Hill at the time, who was the consultant and creative guy who was handling everything that was going on BT. They saw one of my videos from Flavor Videos. They saw me do this skit of the Dreamgirls Jennifer Holiday skit where I'm telling you I'm not going, I'm singing.
Yeah.
Y'all can make fun if y'all want to, but at least I didn't wear no dress. But anyway, he saw that skit and he said, who's that? Meaning Stephen Hill. He said, who's that guy? And we need to get a hold of that guy. How do we contact that guy? So of course, everybody at BET, how you work at BET and you don't have cable? And that's not being disrespectful. That's just saying, wow, everybody at BET said, oh, that's Bobby Simmons. I watch his show at night. I'm like, you work for BET. Shouldn't you have cable? Shouldn't you be watching your network? No, they were watching my shows. Steven said, how do we get a hold of him? So everybody was saying, we just call up his show, but nobody couldn't get me. Mr. C said, I know how to contact him. And Mr. C was the one that called me and said, should I give him your number? And he gave them my number, and they called me and said they wanted to do a show with me because of Flavor Videos. And he said, until we find a show to put together for you, how would you like to be a DJ? You could do Freestyle Friday. We'll put you here. You just be the DJ and just play records for the free guys, so the guys can freestyle too. I said, sure, no problem. It's exposure. Right? It's not big, no big deal. So I was doing that I think I did that for about 3 months, 3 or 4 months. I was waiting for my show. I'm still waiting for my show, Steve. I had to keep pressing. I was like, all right, man. But they wound up getting a show. The guy almost looked like me.
So they took oh man.
Oh, not hits from the streets.
You just said it. Give him a round of applause.
Really?
Look at me. Look at me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he looked like me, but he almost.
No. Right. But now
on the street talking to people, doing these skits.
Yeah.
D'Angelo skit.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not mad at him.
I wasn't a big fan, to be honest with you, man.
I'm not mad at him, yo. Steven I don't know, but I was like, yo, Steven, I thought you put me on like all right, no problem.
Where's that guy at now?
But thank God I knew how to press on because I was a record producer. I was producing Tony Terry. I was producing artists. I was producing World of Girl. So I was still a record producer. So I was able to press on and still work.
No, that's
I
crazy.
depend on him giving me a TV show. And I still had flavor videos.
Right.
So I was all right.
Wow.
Yeah, on the head, fam.
Yeah, because I'm just saying, like, man, I didn't. Yo, it was literally like he just watched all your shit and.
Exactly.
Wow.
But I'm not mad at him, man. I mean, I give us respect.
Okay.
Respect soldiers.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about your production. You gave us a nugget with that KRS-One, Shabba Ranks. We never knew that. Can you talk a little bit about your production throughout the years that we may not know about?
Yeah, well, the one thing people freak out on is I tell people I scored and wrote and produced a song for the movie Rocky V. People are like, what?
Wow.
The song is called Home Sweet Home. The group is 783. 783 was a group. Well, actually, Sean, yeah, they were
DJ Muggs.
Right, DJ Muggs. Actually, Sean and Brett is from Brooklyn. They moved to West Coast, but they from Brooklyn because me and Daddy produced their album, their first album. But that was a song that I produced for them for the movie. And people was like, so somebody saw the Rocky V movie saying, this dude is lying. And then they heard the song in the movie and then they waited for the credits to go up. And, at the end of the credits, it tells you the songs that's in the movie. And then the credit goes up, it says Home Sweet Home, written by Bobby Simmons, Sean Baldwin, and Brett Baldwin, produced by Bobby Simmons. They was like, oh, shoot, you really? I said, yeah, like people were surprised. Also, I did Tales from the Hood. I did the theme song with Domino. Did the theme song. So people was kind of shocked. Like you score movies, like yeah, like So I don't have a problem no more. Everything's in data now, so you could just go look for it. You need to find it. But I also got to work with rock groups like the rock group Living Color. I'm not sure if y'all familiar with the rock.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Prince Paul did the song Funny Vibe.
Yeah.
We did that song. We did that. So people was kind of like our production and my work is sporadic. I didn't tailor myself just to hip hop. Because I'm a musician.
You come from, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to hear that the Red Hot Chili Peppers wanted to work with us, like, yo, let's do this, D. Because that's why I keep saying you welcome, Jay-Z, and people probably saying, oh, you hating on Jay. I'm not hating on Jay. I'm saying you welcome because now they're able to connect now with these rock bands or these rock groups the way they can connect with them. That's not disrespecting Run DMC because Run DMC made the monumental record ever with Aerosmith. You can't wait for them. But after that, nobody wasn't really into rap and rock. They kind of stuck with being a hard MC, hard production. We was like, nah, we could do this some more. And we continue with other rock acts. And B-52s was one act that Daddy-O worked with. Red Hot Chili Peppers was the act that I worked with. So we kind of stayed on that. But I stayed with hip hop too because I wound up producing Smith & Wesson as well. Work with them. So people kind of freak out when they look at my work and they go, yo, I had no idea. And I'm like, yeah, because some of y'all don't read no more. Right. If I'm not in the video or if they're not bigging you up, you had nothing to do with the record.
Right.
We played our position. Our position was to make sure the production of the record was right and lyrically you was laying it right and the record was good. We say power to you, Puff, for being in everybody's video and making it seem like you did all their records. That's how that started. They think if they saw you in the video, oh, he must have produced the record. He must be the producer. No, I'm the producer if you read who produced the record. You know what I'm saying?
Can you talk to us about this new Unsung that's out now?
Yeah, man, we happy about that. I need to be careful how I'm going to do this. So why don't we talk about it? It's out now. Or you could cut this.
We'll clip it. Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll clip it up and match it to.
Okay, cool. Well, it airs April 14th, Sunday, April 14th, 9 p.m. Let's talk about this TV One Unsung. I'm happy about it. We're all happy about it because when we got the call, we were surprised. Here we go again, brothers. We were surprised that the guy and the girl, Fatima, who actually are the producers of this episode, the guy, Jason, is a fan of Stetsasonic. He's like, I want to do that project. How can I get them? Well, our manager, Courtney, who manages Morris Day.
Mm.
He also used to manage Nelly. Y'all probably heard Nelly mention him several times too. His name is Courtney Benson.
Mm-hmm.
He's our manager. He manages. And Courtney was like, "You want Stetsasonic?" The guy was like, "Yeah, you know them?" He said, "I managed them." He said, "Yo, they story need to be told." So Courtney called me and said, "Yo, Bobby, y'all want to do an unsung?" We was like, "Yeah, that'd be dope." He said, "I'm with the guy right now. When can we set you up to talk with him?" So he set us up to talk with him. So let me make this quick and short. The girl who's actually directing the episode said, "Okay, well, Bobby, look, we got people that, know about you guys and we want to get them to talk about y'all." So I told her, I said, "Nah, I seen y'all shows. I love Unsung. Unsung is I think people downplay it a lot. It's a great documentary of a lot of acts that don't get their accolades. Love that show." But I said, I want our show to be different. She said, "Why?" I said, "Because I want to get our people to talk about us." She said, "Okay, well, who you want to get?" I said, "I want to get Ice-T." She said, "Bobby, let me stop you. Let me stop you." She said, "We've been trying to get Ice-T to be a part of a lot of hip-hop documentaries that we've been doing, so we can't get him." She said, "So, we got some people that know about you guys that can talk, some radio DJ." I said, No. I want Ice-T. She said, "Well, we can't. I don't know if we can get Ice-T, but I'll write his name down." I said, "I'll just call him." She said, "What do you mean call him?" I said, "I can call Ice-T. I don't need to go to his manager or him." She said, "Bobby, we've been trying to get Ice-T." I said, "Let me call you back." Called Ice-T. He was on vacation with his wife. He said, "What's up, B?" I said, "Yo, Ice, they finally gave us an unsung." He said, "About time." I said, "Yo, Ice, I'm calling you. Daddy on us. We need to know, when can we get you? You the only one that know about us, because you was with us at the Latin Quarters. You toured with us on the Def Jam tour. We was down with the Rhyme Syndicate because we produced Rhyme Syndicate.
Mm-hmm.
We need you to." He said, "Yo, Bobby, shut up. When you need me." I said, "Well, can the producer call you?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Can she call you now? Because you're on vacation. We don't want to bother you." He said, "Yo, B, have her call me right now." I said, "Right now, right now?" He said, "Yeah." I got off with Ice-T. I said, "Call Ice-T now." She called Ice-T. She called me back in 3 minutes and said, "Oh my God, Bobby, we set a date to tape Ice-T." I said, "There we go. Ice-T is in the can." She said, "Who else do you want?" I said, we need Chuck D from Public Enemy." She said, "Can you get him?" I said, "Let me call him." I called Chuck D. Chuck D was like, "Yo, Bobby, I'm gonna be in LA. Can they come to LA?" She called Chuck D. "Bobby, we got Chuck D." She said, "Who else do you want?" I said, "We want De La Soul." She said, "Can you get Paul, call Mace, please call Mace for me." And we couldn't get Dave because Dave passed at the time.
Right.
And he said, I said, call Mace for me. Call Mace. Call Mace. Mace called me. "Yo, B, I'm in." So Ice-T is on it. Chuck D is in it. Mr. C is in it. Roxanne Shante is in it. Quest from the Roots is in it. He finally tells everybody Stetsasonic is the first original hip hop band. He said that. And salute to Quest, because he had nothing but mad respect for us.
Nice.
Bow-Legged Lou from Full Force is on it. Vernon Reed from Living Colors on it. Of course, Tom Silverman's on it, because we got to have the fight about why he never gave us a video for Sally.
Right.
Monica Lynch is on it. I called everybody.
Nice.
And
Nice.
the producers was like, "Yo, how did you get all these people? They're our friends."
Mm-hmm.
That's who I wanted to tell our stories. I didn't want nobody no disrespect for the people who are familiar with us and could go, "Oh, I remember this group, and and they're out." We appreciate them. But if this story is going to be told,
Right.
know about the people who rode with us.
Wow.
And they rode with us. And Shantae rode with us because, again, we were the first Juice Crew. And Roxanne Shantae had a battle with Fruit Quan at the music seminar, and it's documented on tape.
How was that?
Didn't I say earlier he lost?
I wanted to ask if it was her, but I was like,
he lost
to Roxanne Shantae.
Lost to Roxanne Shantae, and they're gonna talk about that on and you're gonna hear Fruit Quan's respond. So we're happy. We're real happy about this Unsung, and we want everybody that's watching your show or this program right now, please, if you can, watch the episode. It's a great episode. A lot of our friends is a part of it. And we appreciate that everybody became a part of it. And we need you guys to help be a part of it so that you can see the story in rotation, not only told by me here telling you now, but you could be like, yo, Bobby told me about Ice-T. Let me hear what Ice-T got to say. You can watch it and watch it in motion. You can watch Chuck D talk about how Stetsasonic and Public Enemy shared a tour bus together. That's 7 guys and 12 guys on a 12 bunk bus. 7 and 12 is what?
Look,
On a bus, on a 12 bunk bus.
Damn.
We're gonna hear those stories.
That's
We're gonna
crazy.
hear those stories.
We'll see. Yeah, we won't talk about that now. We'll say let them have to watch that.
Yeah. We're happy about that. To answer your question about the unsung, we are very, very happy about this TV One unsung. So everybody through this program that supports them, please support us and watch that TV One unsung Stetsasonic. I'm sure y'all gonna be very proud of this episode.
Nice.
Can you talk a little bit about what Bobby is working on now and the status of Stetsasonic?
Well, currently right now, real quickly, I also manage acts. So I'm managing the legendary singer Fonda Ray. People are familiar with Fonda Ray. She actually had 2 huge hit records. She had 3 hit songs, but 2 huge ones. One of her huge records was Over Like a Fat Rat. Mm-hmm. And I'm managing her now. So a lot of her shows is done overseas. She do a lot of overseas shows. Stetsasonic album is released now. It'll be released April 6th. It's called Here We Go Again. We just finished that. So the Stetsasonic album is out now. Please show your love. Support us on it. It's a great album. It was executive produced by me, Daddy-O, Chuck D from Public Enemy, because we're all working together, putting our products out with Spit Slam. And we also reached out to new producers like Kevin Dean. You know, he's the dope dude. He produced Mary J. Blige. Like, let me show you how much love he gave us. This guy produced big records for Mary J. Blige because he's a Stetsasonic fan. He's like, yo, he gave us this track. And we were just waiting for him to say, how much you want for it? Man, I'm a fan of Stetsasonic. Of course, we had to take care of him. We don't want to do that. But give us, we don't have that Mary money.
Right.
Want, you know what I'm saying? So he's a cool dude. He came through for us was just out of love. He produced our first single called Now Y'all Giving Up Love. Cool dude. So we reached out to people who was going to show us love. And other people came forward. Also on the album, we did a feature track with Smooth the Hustler. Nice. And Marla Rains. Marla Rains is she used to be the Source magazine's top freestyle female rapper. Y'all probably familiar. Her name is Marla Rains. She's dope.
Marla Rains. Yeah,
she's on a joint called The Cypher with us. And then we got a single that's out now with Rusty Jukes called Notes of Impression.
Nice.
So we reached out to people that's like, yo, man, we in the trenches with you guys. What you need? We got a new single that we're going to release as a bonus. It's not going to be on the album with Shaheem the Rugged Child called Paid Souls. See, we got topics to talk about. Paid souls.
Right.
Imagine what that story would be about. Paid souls.
Right.
And I'm talking about your soul.
Yeah. Nice.
Just imagine lyrically what that's going to be about.
No doubt.
Nice.
Oh, can't wait.
Yeah, exactly. So we happy about the new album. Right now, also still I got Party 101.9 on iHeartRadio. I still do that Monday through Wednesday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then I do a morning show called the Bobby Simmons Morning Show with my partner Chantel. It's a funny morning show. It's, we really get on people. I have guests on my show, but it's a wake up morning show. It's really more about the music than talk, but we got it. So we still find ways to work, earn a salary, and just be happy and watch our journey go by.
Very beautiful. And we love watching your journey. We thank you for everything you've done for this culture, everything you've done for me and Uncle E. You've been our soundtrack throughout our teenage years all the way until adulthood. Before we get out of here, can you shout out your social media and where everybody can keep up with Bobby Simmons and Stetsasonic moving forward?
Oh, definitely, man. Thank you. Well, everybody y'all can reach out to me, Bobby Simmons, at BSBVBK. Now, let me kind of explain that. That's Bobby Simmons BS, Brownsville BV BK. Y'all get it? Bobby
Nice.
Simmons Brown.
Okay.
So y'all can reach me at BSBVB BSBVBK. You can also reach me at, if you on Facebook. I'm on that a lot. I don't know why, because people talk to me on there. But you can reach me at Bobby Simmons on Facebook. But you can also reach Stetsasonic at The Real Stetsasonic, which is at The Real, TheReal STETSASONIC, at The Real Stetsasonic. That's our real page. They got other page that people trying to know. Y'all can get us at The Real Stetsasonic. That's, and you literally will be talking to me or Daddy or Prince Paul on that page. And the other page, if it ain't at The Real Stetsasonic, that ain't us. That comes out to us over there. And party101.9.com. If y'all want to, tune in and listen to the hip hop music, or I do a lot of throwback classics, or even the slow jam show. I do slow jams at night as well. So y'all can all catch me there. So please, I hope all your people, man, that represent, support y'all. Some of that support come over here to us too, man. And I want to thank y'all too, man. I say this, the big real quick. I gotta do this. I gotta do this, please, if I can do this.
Yes,
sure.
Shout out to my man Riz. Y'all know Riz, Ralph Tresman from New Edition.
Yep.
That's our family. We almost got him to do the unsung, but they were preparing for the culture tour, so we weren't able to get him to do the unsung. But shout out to my man Riz. Riz from New Edition always shows Stetsasonic love. He's another one that loved the big beat sound and the drum sound. And me and him was talking. He's like, yo, how y'all get that sound? I told him we recorded Go Stetsa, the drums, in the bathroom. That's how I recorded all my drums, in the bathroom. We put a microphone in the bathroom, left the door open, and got the ambient sound from in the hallway. That's how you get that big drum sound. But anyway, shout out to my man Riz from and New Edition, man. We know that Riz always shout out Stetsasonic and show Stetsasonic love. But the same way I'm telling Uncle E and them right here, man, can we get some of them NE for life lovers over here our way, just like we can get Uncle E and they lovers over Stetsasonic? Please. So I wanted to say that to y'all, because y'all got people that represent y'all. Can we get them over to Stetsasonic, please?
Right.
Because Ralph Tresman, them NE for lifers, boy, they got New Edition locked. Can we get some of that over here? So Uncle E, y'all can you tell your peoples, man. Show us some.
Yeah, definitely.
Take that very much from you, brothers, man.
Definitely. Hey, before we sign out, me and Sincere were asking ourselves this question. They celebrated hip hop 50th anniversary, right? Mm-hmm. And it was shows left and right, all kind of things going on. And why come we didn't see Stetsasonic on these platforms?
We did two. We did Lady B Basement 50th anniversary, hip hop 50th anniversary party in Philadelphia.
I saw the flyers for that.
All right, and then we did big shout out to my man Charlie Mack. Charlie Mack, y'all know who handles Will Smith. Yeah. Fresh Prince, and we did the one in Jersey.
Yeah. I saw that too.
Atlantic City. We did those two.
Yeah.
Why we wasn't called for the Yankee Stadium one, we don't know, but we're not mad. You know what I'm saying? Because our answer to that 50th anniversary hip hop thing, what y'all gonna do now for 51? We already doing something for 51 anniversary. We got a new album out. Stetsasonic. Here we go again. But
nice.
We moving forward. You know what I'm saying? So, nice. But we shout out to Lady B and Charlie Mack, because they always call us. So we appreciate them.
No doubt.
Very dope. Thank you so much, Bobby.
This has been truly an honor.
Appreciate y'all very much, man. And yo, E, man, thanks for the love on Flavor Videos, man, because you took me back with some of that too, man.
Listen, I'm just trying to, hold my composure, respect your time, but you don't understand, like, throughout this whole interview, I've been getting goosebumps, and it's just so cool. I feel it, baby. it's reliving those feelings, you know what I mean? So thank you for all you've done, man, and continue.
We appreciate y'all very much, man. If y'all need anything else, man, just holler, baby. I'm in the building.
No doubt. Make sure you tell Darlene thank you so much for the connecting us on your publicist on this interview. So appreciate
I will do that.